Coming up in tonight's bulletin, Prime Minister Jeremiah Manile clarifies the recent cabinet reshuffle. The Bills and Legislation Committee has concluded its hearing into the Public Service Bill today, following clause-by-clause examination. And Solomon Islands has established diplomatic ties with North Macedonia and Andorra during the recent United Nations General Assembly in New York. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Andrea Maahanwa. Prime Minister Jeremiah Manile has reshuffled his cabinet to strengthen government stability ahead of Parliament's next session, appointing Rexon Ramofafia as Minister of Finance and Treasury and Trevor Manimahaga as Minister of National Planning and Development Coordination. Sharon Now reports.
Prime Minister Honorable Jeremiah Manile says the recent cabinet reshuffle was made to ensure continued stability within the government. Mr. Manile spoke on the changes during a press conference held in Honiara today.
These changes were made to strengthen the government's delivery capacity and to ensure that key ministries remain aligned with our national priorities. Let me be clear. The reshuffle was guided by one central objective, and that is stability. By stability, I mean long-term political and operational stability, the kind that allows the Government for National Unity and Transformation to serve its full mandate under the 12th Parliament. As a country, we have seen how frequent changes of government can disrupt policy continuity and progress. My duty as Prime Minister is to safeguard stability so that GNAT can complete its work and deliver tangible results for our people. Cabinet reshuffles are not a sign of weakness. They are a normal part of governance. Even as ministers change, ministries continue to function fully. All programs and services remain uninterrupted, and leadership requires making adjustments where necessary to strengthen performance and unity within the government. As Prime Minister, I remain fully focused on the national interest and will continue to make decisions that keep our government stable, steady, and our country moving forward.
Prime Minister Manile also addressed questions raised over the possibility of his government facing a motion of no confidence when Parliament resumes next week.
I am confident that I have the numbers. You tend to hear a lot of meetings, rumors going on. That's quite usual when you have motions of no confidence around. Motions of no confidence is a democratic right of any member of Parliament to move. But we also have to be mindful that we are not going to move forward if we keep on having motions of no confidence. It does not send a good signal, not only for ourselves as a country, but also for investors who depend on stability in order for them to come in and invest.
As part of the reshuffle, Honorable Rexon Ramofafia has been appointed as the new Minister of Finance and Treasury, while Honorable Trevor Manimahaga steps into the position of Minister of National Planning and Development Coordination. Sharon Nanau, SIBC TV.
The Bills and Legislation Committee have concluded its hearing into the Public Service Bill today, following clause-by-clause examination. The bill, which received cabinet approval in March this year, aims to enhance transparency, accountability, and efficiency within the country's public sector. Chairman of the committee and Member of Parliament, John Maninyaro, closed today's session, noting that the committee will compile a report on its findings and recommendations.
The Bills and Legislation Committee and you as the host ministry, we are making law for our country and for our future generation. And so we should not take it lightly. There should be no politicking in there as being perceived in the past. We all need to take heed of the responsibility we all have to propose a good bill to the Parliament for the digestion and also debate. So, committee happy to much PS and your team that you will look at issues and major recommendations that committee should carry. Me fala address him and me fala happy. We'll wait for your final outcomes, and we will proceed with our report as well. And so I can say here in conclusion that we are ready to present the bill to the House of Parliament.
The Public Service Bill is expected to appear before Parliament soon. And now the Solomon Islands has established diplomatic ties with Northern Macedonia and Andorra during the recent United Nations General Assembly in New York. With this new addition, the Solomon Islands now has diplomatic relations with a total of 139 countries. Prime Minister Manele highlighted that collaboration with international partners remains key to advancing the country's development priorities.
In terms of bilateral meetings in New York on the margins of the UNGA, we held 9 bilateral meetings with partners, including the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Austria, Germany, and India. These discussions covered cooperation in climate resilience, education, health, policing, and economic transformation. We also established diplomatic relations with North Macedonia and Andorra, bringing our total diplomatic partners to 139 states. Agreements were signed with Serbia to ease travel and strengthen dialogue, as well as with Tuvalu to allow Solomon Islands nurses to work there. These engagements strengthen partnerships in areas that directly affect our people: climate resilience, education, health, trade, and security. I want to assure our people that these engagements are not about focusing abroad at the expense of home. Every statement we make, every partnership we build, and every agreement we sign is aimed at strengthening services, creating opportunities, and improving the daily lives of Solomon Islanders. Our commitment remains clear: to ensure that international cooperation directly supports national priorities: better health, stronger education, climate resilience, and a more secure and prosperous future for all.
Local participants have praised the strong inclusion of grassroots voices at the recent Pacific Islands Ocean Conference held at the Heritage Park in Honiara, highlighting the opportunity for direct community engagement with regional experts, scientists, and development partners. Sharon Anau reports.
Local participants hailed the recently held Pacific Islands Ocean Conference move to have strong local participation during the regional conference. The conference brought together scientists, experts, development partners, civil society, youth, private sector representatives, and local communities in Honiara. Speaking to SIBC TV, Program Manager of Waste to Wealth based in Gizo, Defisha Aleziru says it is encouraging to see many people working directly with communities attending the conference, as it gave them a chance to share their work and experiences firsthand.
Throughout the conference, you may get a presentation like one me say, or the students, or where, or do more research, blota PhD, like or go for PhD, and what currently do more studies, blota, and how me look in this conference, yeah. There are so many like those organizations who actually work with communities or really doing presentations, so you can actually see the impact, impact where or doing with him or the local community, then helping me for understanding too, like what are the gaps and what not, or doing so far. So we have a good presentation from WCS too, like the work with where Ota doing within communities blotter, and you can really see how Ota waka and doing impact law side law fisheries space yeah.
Mrs. Aleziru says such conference should be held for other sectors in the country, as Solomon Islands can learn from other countries in the region.
Hem bara nice, and you mean it for Gareb kind type more for encouraging more, and there are other partners where wakalo Solomon Island too, or they to do a good job too, and him good too for inviting motalo next round or some for come share them too what na or doing, because every place him got them different context how you me doing things, so him a space where you miss a learn from each other and connect what now work well on another place and on another place, so him go for involving other stakeholders more for doing presentation so that you miss a here more here and you me more len, yeah.
Sharon Nanel for SIBC TV.
Teachers in the Solomon Islands can expect better pay and improved working conditions following the introduction of a new classification and salary structure by the Ministry of Education, which narrows the pay gap between teachers and other public servants. Sharon Anau reports.
Teachers in the country will expect to see improvements in their pay and conditions thanks to a new classification and salary structure introduced by the Ministry of Education. Permanent Secretary Dr. Franco Rodi confirmed this to the Bills and Legislation Committee during the hearing into the Public Service Bill 2025. He said while public servants have generally earned more than teachers, the new structure has closed that gap. He explains in some cases teachers are now earning equal or more than public servants depending on their levels. He also noted that the education sector has now moved away from the unified public service pay system, creating a teacher-specific structure. To further improve conditions, a committee is reviewing teachers' annual leave and housing entitlements, aiming to bring them in line with public service standards.
Well, with our new classification and the salary structure, they are better now than than before.
Better than public service or equal within public service or?
In some instances, depending on the levels, yeah, and better than public service.
Some instances.
Yeah. So we have moved away from the unified structure. So we have our own teacher classification and salary structure. So yeah, Ministry am very aware of the situation, and we are trying to improve on those. So the demand of the Tip Kablami Falaya, they fast track it, but we have accommodated that, and so should be able to improve their salaries from what we provided them in.
So by and large, that will bring them to roughly equivalent within public service where it is at the moment?
Regulations 9 of the education spell out clearly now. If treatment in terms of remuneration, annual leave, and housing for public servants by same with them or the teachers. So that's an assurance that we have provided for the teachers.
Sharon Nanel for SIBC TV.
And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.